What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy KT, aka Courtesy of New Orleans.
I'm JAZ People.
It's your boy QB.
And together, we are the Den Podcast.
Man, we in the den
We're
live.
here today reporting live from Neo's, downtown Atlanta.
ATL, baby.
Talk about the 17 years of Hurricane Katrina. How everybody was affected by it, where we was on that day, and how everybody remembered that day. So we're gonna have some great interviews from other people that's here, and we're gonna get their point of view. We also wanted to have some special guests from people that wasn't, that really wasn't from New Orleans, try to figure out how they felt about New Orleans when we first came here. How was they impacted? What was their experience when they seen what they seen from their perspective, stuff like that. So be on the lookout for some great interviews. We're gonna probably have a part 2, part 3, part 4 to this because everybody not here right now, but we're gonna go with what we got. So we're gonna start it off with Jazz.
With me,
Your mic on?
17 years. Right?
17 years. 17
Does it feel like 17?
No, I feel like it was yesterday.
It does. And you know what's crazy? It rained today. And it looked like Katrina.
always rains.
All through Atlanta, it looked like
It
Katrina.
always rains.
Always rain. It does?
It always rains.
I always
on the
believe it
anniversary.
always rains.
It always rains on this one.
Now that's real nostalgic to
Right.
come outside to the rain. But for me, wow, 17 years. Like I remember not taking it serious. Because where we from, when you hear a storm coming, you get your food together, you get your alcohol together, and we about to party.
Right. Make groceries, nigga have a storm party.
And we gonna make groceries. Y'all heard that, right?
Yeah, we make groceries.
You really from New Orleans.
Yep.
We make groceries. QB, what you? Anyway.
Catch the bus.
We always got jokes about
We
QB
got jokes
being
on
from
Q.
New Orleans,
But
that's,
yeah, I remember.
that's an uptown
It's
representative.
an uptown representative.
That's an uptown
Third Wall
representative.
Parkway all day, baby.
Respect the tank. Anyway,
You heard me?
I remember not taking it serious. I felt like we're gonna ride it out. Let's just make sure we stocked up.
Right.
And at the last minute, it's like you had that feeling. And plus you had the older people telling you that this is reminding them of Betsy. So to hear your great grandmother tell you, y'all don't know what it is to go through Betsy.
Betsy was crazy.
Bessie was worse than Katrina.
Yeah, 73.
Yeah, so it like you had to take it serious because the older people wanted to go. So for me, we didn't take it serious, but my great grandmother was like, we have to go, and like we got to get out of there. Then we start planning and making our moves or whatever. I just remember it taking forever. We went to New Iberia. It took forever to get there. A 2-hour ride turned into almost 13 hours. And we was packed in a small car with my great aunt, my grandmother, my kids. Another thing is panicking, trying to get my kids from my baby daddy. Because you're not traveling with my kids.
Right.
You didn't carry them on your taxes. Talking about I drowned. Talking about I can't find their mama.
They put them on the bus.
Right.
I was like, I got 2 more I gotta get.
They split us up.
Right.
I was like, I got 2 more I gotta get. So having my family together, it was very important. We was not gonna separate. And, we got to New Iberia, and I remember looking at the news and seeing there was nothing to go back to. That was shocking because you always think, okay, well now this is gonna turn into a trip. It's not gonna be as big as they said it was, but we're gonna go on and leave because they scared. And then when we get there, it's gonna be a trip. We're gonna see.
But they warned us about that.
But no, really, that's just how we used to do. Like, how many storms come and we do all that grocery shopping,
And
you
it
know what I
never
mean?
hit.
And that never happened. You know what I mean? As soon as it get to the Gulf, it's spin at the last minute.
Right.
So a lot of people felt like that's what it was gonna be. Like everybody gonna, panicking to get out there.
Yeah.
Then the trip part about it, like looking at stuff after the fact. Not to cut you off, but just seeing how every time there's a disaster or something happening, the way the world used that, against everybody. Like gas stations, going up on gas. You hear me? Like everybody trying to get out. There's only a few gas stations with gas, so now that just adds to the anxiety of everybody trying to get out the city.
It was no real plan.
Yeah.
And the funny part is to not have a plan
That
in
plan
place.
failed, whatever that plan was.
They didn't have it. It looked
We
like
didn't have no evacuation plan, couldn't it?
at
all.
But what's crazy is they prepared us when we were young. You taught us that we were in a cup.
Right.
So this was in our textbook. This was nothing that was just said to us. We had this in our textbook. social studies class had that in the books. I went to that class. I didn't skip that class.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
So for you to have all of that going on and not have a plan, it was unfortunate. But I think they did do the best they could do with what they had. Because, you know, when you look back, you have to think about it. You realize we were rich in our spirit because family is important to New Orleans people.
Right.
And coming together and celebrating everything. But at the same time, you realize we didn't have the resources that other places have.
Right.
And we didn't know that because all we knew is that we had each other. So I went to New Iberia with my family, and it's a country town. And I'm a city girl, so I knew immediately I can't stay here. And that's when it really hit for me. Depression, everything. I actually shaved my eyebrows. I was looking at the documentary that they did. Katrina Babies. Please go check that out.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was a
so
good documentary.
good. And the lady said she
They said
felt
a little
like
bit with the villain, huh? Who did that?
I don't know his name.
That's like the boy was telling me that. I don't know his name.
We have to get in touch with him. If you're watching this, please reach out to us. We need to really get an exclusive interview. And everybody needs to see
Probably
Katrina
need
Babies.
a tour with that thing too.
Yeah. But the lady was saying on there that she was in a place that she didn't know anybody, so she didn't feel like she had to comb her hair. I shaved my eyebrows off because I was just
Oh,
depressed.
when she had got some.
Yeah, when she got
What, she went to Lake Charles somewhere?
I
somewhere
thought
Shreveport.
Shreveport.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
And y'all know Shreveport. They think they Texas.
Right.
They don't really. They claim Texas until they really need to claim it. But yeah, it was hard for us because again I had 2 babies. My son had just started walking, my last child, and it was depressing. And I remember saying, Mom, you take the 2 young ones. I'm gonna go get it, and I'll come back and get them. And she held it down. We split up. That was hard, but it was for the greater good. And then we were reunited in Augusta, where we built and we would transition to Atlanta. And that's
That's
what
another
it was
great
for me.
story for me to run into her in Augusta. I'm
Right.
stationed there. We in Applebee's.
Applebee.
Out of all fucking places, nigga in Applebee's, you heard me? I'm sitting across the
from
bar.
each other in the bar.
I'm
You
sitting
know the bars
across-
like a U.
Yeah, so look, I'm sitting at the bar because this time I'm this like my second time being stationed in Augusta, you heard me? So like, man, I've been on this nigga since we was like this here, you know what I mean? So like, to like even visualize seeing her in Augusta was nowhere on my radar. you
And
heard
then
me?
he called my
So
real
like-
name.
So
So
like,
I knew
I'm
somebody
sitting
in
there,
that
look,
room.
she's sitting there with her husband, her ex-husband, right?
Uh-huh.
So they sitting at the bar, and the whole time I'm looking, but it's like she looking at me, I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I'm trying to be respectful because she with her people, you heard? So it's like, but I'm looking because it's fucking me up. Like
We
I
ain't
know
never
I,
been respectful.
I never give a fuck.
We ain't
about
never been respectful.
Right.
It's us.
but look, I'm sitting there because I'm like, man, this look like somebody I know. Man, I swear it look like fucking Jazz, but I'm like, nah, Jazz won't be in no fucking Augusta.
Not this.
Nah.
Disgusting. I'm
Not-
sorry, disgusting.
Nah, we can't never say this.
They know
I
that's
made
my
too
thing.
much money
I made a
Augusta,
lot of
so
money in Augusta.
I would never
I'm so
disrespect
sorry.
Augusta. But yeah, so I'm sitting at the in Applebee's, and I'm sitting across the bar looking like, man, this look like Jazz. You know what I mean? But it's been years because I left home when I was 18.
This is calm.
So I'm sitting there looking like, man, that girl look like Jazz. But that can't be Jazz because we're in Augusta.
Right.
Then about 5-10 minutes go by, she looking at me, I'm looking at her. When we finally realized that it was us, nigga, if you could have seen the look on her husband's face, boy, he felt violated like he didn't know he wanted to fight or what. Like,
Right.
What man?
this dude
Don't
did,
speak
right?
to the man first. He don't know you.
Right.
You from across the river.
oh, that's cool.
It was a West Bank thing.
I don't know that nigga, but I know her. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, that was funny how we did that. What about you, Q?
Man, it was crazy for me, bro, because I was living out here in Atlanta, and my mom and my sister was in New Orleans, and I kept telling them, I'm like, Mom, y'all need to try to get up here some type of way, catch the Greyhound, something. And it was like, well, babe, maybe they just were saying that we got to stay still now because they shutting everything down, the highways are packed, all of this stuff.
Right.
And so I had, rest in peace to one of my best friends, Peanut. She was living in the East, and so they stayed on the second floor. So my mom and them they just stayed. If you walk on one step, and you're in the house. Pretty
Mama
much.
was in the East too?
No, it was around Toulouse, around Warren East and everything. So you know a lot of them homes around there are pretty much you just walk up the step, walk in the house. It's not a two-story house. So I got in touch with my friend and my mom and them. They can't pick my mom and them up, and so they brought them to the East. Thank God, because my mom and Dominique was my sister was pregnant with my niece's parents, and so everything going through my head on what's going on. So when they finally got over there, I felt a little comfortable because it was on the second floor. So what happened, I called them that Monday when it started happening. So I was on the phone with my sister, and I was like, Dominique, y'all good? Everything's going on? Dominique going good? And she was like, yeah, we all right, but it's raining, and the water starting to climb up. So they had to leave from the first floor and go to the second floor, already. So that's when what you call it must have.
We're gonna have them on, so let's not give out too much of their.
Right.
To give their experience.
Right, but I was just telling you what
How did
happened
it
when
feel for you and your family?
it was scary because as everything.
You couldn't come in the city and get them.
I couldn't come and get them. They
Right.
couldn't come out, so it pretty much was stuck, you know.
Right.
And it was kind of nerve-wracking pretty much for me because this is my mom, my sister, then my uncle and my aunt, all of them, you know, it was all this stuff.
Thank God you had family there.
Yeah.
That would actually see about them.
Right.
They could take off and do
That was a good part.
pull together. Yeah.
Right.
One thing I can always say about New Orleans people is, like, we might not see each other every day, we might not talk to each other every day, but when it's time to come together, we pull it together. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things. Thank God I'm from a big family on both sides, so it's like people stand in the gaps, people that you would never would thought. Like, you know what I mean? Just like I just buried my auntie, rest in peace to my auntie Rudell, just passed away 2 weeks ago. Same way for her, like just seeing my family response, you know what I mean? Because my grandma got 14 kids, seven girls, 7 boys. So, you know, I lost a daughter, I lost a few cousins, but my family never experienced death from my grandmother children. You hear me? So like, when my auntie, when we got the call that she had a heart attack, you know what I mean? We looking, okay, she had a heart attack, but then we hearing that, you know, they didn't get there in time enough, so no oxygen got to her brain, you know what I mean? So we didn't know what condition her brain was in. But when I tell you, when that call went, cousins from Texas that was in Houston, Dallas, they was in New Orleans in a matter of like 8-9 hours, you know what I mean? I'm right here in Atlanta, you know what I mean? But I was on the road, so I'm like, as soon as I get back, park my truck, I got to dip because I had to come get my mama anyway, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's good that we got family like that. That's why I thank God, like for my family, like we might not talk every day, but when they come to us needing each other, we always pull it together. And that's New Orleans. I think like New Orleans.
I think
like,
that's
as
just
a whole.
Yeah,
That's New Orleans as a whole. Like,
You hear people say all the time, yeah, I'm really cool with them. That's relative. But then you can't play with them.
Right.
That's one thing. You can't play with them.
You
So
can't
we
play
come
with them
together,
at all.
but you can't play with them at all. And that's what makes us family.
That's some real talk.
So real talk,
Yeah.
real.
Man.
So, KT, you were in the military. How did it feel when you trying to like come in with the military and help or whatever? How did it feel?
Well, first of all, I got a real culture shock, and by that time when Katrina happened, I probably had about a good 7-8 years in the Army. So that's the time that I can really say that I seen how the Army really worked and how the Army, you know, the military period. Like they talk family, they talk, you know, United States, they talk this and that. But like when they come to some real shit, them people, it's a business. You know what I mean? And they not in the business of people the way they say they is. So for me, what really was fucked up about it, I never forget. The crazy part is I had just left New Orleans 2 weeks prior. You know what I mean? Because I always had overseas assignments. So I was already coming from overseas when I brought my family to New Orleans. You know what I mean? So got my wife and kids at the time, my ex-wife and my kids apartment. You know what I mean? Got them situated. I got overseas. Trip part is I'm still in processing. Because when you're overseas, you take about 2 weeks there in processing to country. You got to get your vaccines. You you gotta go through all these briefings and shit like that. So back in them days, the Army, we had, you know, we still was wearing a BDU uniform, which was camouflage.
Yeah.
We still had to shine our boots and shit like that. So I'm sitting in the boot shine place, you know what I mean, get my boot shine, get ready to go to work or whatever, right? So the guy shining my boots had CNN on, you know what I mean, because I guess that was breaking news for the world, you know what I mean? So the whole time I'm getting my boot shine, I'm in a new country, so I'm still intrigued by shit that's around, you know what I mean? So I'm looking around, I'm peeping out the spot, whatever. And so when what caught my attention when I looked up at the news, because even though the caption was going, you know, at the bottom, I wasn't reading it. I just was just zooming in on the TV. But when I looked up and looked at the TV, I seen Circle Food Store.
So you didn't read the caption at the bottom?
I wasn't reading the caption. I seen Circle Food Store, so that's what got my attention.
A lot of people from Nichols didn't read back then.
I graduated from Nichols. She went to Nichols. It's a difference. Don't you ever disrespect me. Don't you ever disrespect me. I got a motherfucking diploma from Francis T. Nichols, a.k.a. Frederick Douglass. Don't you ever disrespect me.
Hey.
But now on the real, so I'm sitting up there watching TV, so I seen Circle Food Store. So you know, if you, I don't know about you know, I'm gonna say you know Circle Food Store. You know Circle Food Store?
Same enough.
All right. You heard about it or you know?
You know the street.
I was there before you, remember?
What you know about it?
Yeah, I know about it.
Allegedly.
Right on the corner.
Allegedly.
So look,
By the bridge.
so look, I'm looking at Circle Food Store and I'm looking at the water. And if you know Circle Food Store, you know how nigga my Paran stayed at Circle Food Store.
Right.
Like that was
Paran is your godfather.
My Paran stayed at Circle. If I ever needed my Paran for something, all I gotta do is go around Circle Food Store. I know I'm gonna catch him in the La Pana out there.
I ran to get that name.
Yeah. So
No, it's Nan.
I seen. Can I tell my story?
I'm sorry.
I seen the water. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, at first I'm like, is this a movie? So now I'm talking to the Korean dude. I'm like, is this a movie? And he was like, oh no, you know, New Orleans. He's like, bad storm. And I'm like, in New Orleans? So then I started looking. So they started shooting like different shots of New Orleans. So at that point, I'm like, man, I jump out the chair. I go grab myself because over there, you know what I mean? Like we 8-9 hours ahead. So in the States, it's like early in the morning. So when I call my wife, I'm hitting her phone, it's just busy. Then I call my mama, it's busy. Everybody I call, seemed like everybody who had a 504 number, that shit was dead. You know what I mean? So like, bro, it took me like a week and a half. Bro, I lost so much fucking weight sitting over there. You talking about niggas stressed out. I'm sitting over there like calling every day, calling somebody. I couldn't get nobody on the phone, bro. So I'm stressed as fuck out because at the time, Kayla like 2-3 years old, Kiana like 6, you know what I mean? So they babies, you know what I mean? So like, I'm newly married, so I'm like, I'm trying to make sure they good or whatever. So when I get in there, when I finally, let me tell you what happened. So for us, whenever we go overseas, I was with Sprint at the time. So like, they used to have this little thing for soldiers that when you go overseas, instead of getting rid of your phone, you can suspend your plan, but your voicemail just stay on for like $10 a month. So I laid up there and kept that plan. I say, you know, so if my people call me, you know what I mean, they can at least leave a voicemail. And once I get there and get set up, so God must have knew that I was going through it, and He let me go through it for a week. And then one day I'm laying in the bed and I couldn't sleep for shit. You hear me? So one day I guess God just felt like He had enough of a beat. You hear me? So niggas was like, man, call your cell phone, check your voicemail. And when I checked my voicemail, it was my mama on the phone saying she was in Atlanta. And then my ex-wife had called me, and she was just like, they was in Alabama, which they was in Opelika, which is like 45 minutes from Atlanta. Right. So at least that took some pressure off me, you know what I mean, to let me know that they was all right, you know what I mean? And looking back at it now, I got a big ass family. Nigga, I ain't think about how my daddy was doing. I just went straight to immediate, you know what I mean? So like, and I heard my grandma was good, you know what I mean? My grandma was out there. So for me, that's the immediate, you know what I mean? Because I already know my other people, they gonna handle their business, you heard me? So once I heard that voicemail and heard that it was good, I was good, you know what I mean? So when I talk about the military, you know what I mean? You gotta also know at the time I'm dealing with a sick child. Yara was still there, you know what I mean? So I'm battling dealing with her mama and, you know, our issues, and then finding out that my child's sick. My child don't have, you know, she don't have long to live. So when I talked to my mama, you know what I mean, my mama had told me they went to Houston. So that's another thing that I got to battle. Like, how my daughter gonna, you know, survive in Houston? But God got a way of doing everything, because
Yes, he does.
when she got to Houston, it was the best thing ever, because when she was in New Orleans, they was guessing. They was guessing what was wrong with her. They didn't really know. They were running all kind of tests, but by the grace of God, the people who did the write-up on her illness was from Houston.
Wow. Okay. So,
You know what I mean? So like, they was familiar with what she had going on, and so they was the one who gave her diagnosis. And so that's why we made the decision to just keep her in Houston the whole time she was in Houston. But bro, you talking
That's
about
one of those things where it actually worked for the good.
Yeah, it
Like,
worked.
a lot of people say Katrina came and it blessed them. Because I know for me, I had no plans on leaving like that. But
Yeah.
I always say, I want to go somewhere else. It's time to go somewhere else. But I always felt like I just couldn't, because when you go, it's almost like when you feel like everything be on you. If you leave, you can't leave your grandmother, or if you leave, you're leaving something
Yeah, that was
behind.
talking about.
You're leaving something behind, so it
But-
never happened. So it's like the purge came to push
Katrina-
you out.
Katrina
So
washed
in that
the curse
situation
away.
with Pierre, it was a blessing.
I feel like Katrina washed the curse away for the city. Like, even with us living in Atlanta, it feels good. I knew her, you know, from back home. Didn't know you, but just people in general. The people that came to Atlanta that I knew. You know what I mean? Looking at them now and how they living, it ain't no motherfucking way.
It wouldn't
They'll
happen.
be living like that in New
No,
Orleans. You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
happen.
We got a
Unless you
whole
move to
different
Baton Rouge.
outlook. Hey, I tell anybody, expansion creates exposure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And when you get exposure to something, you expand. You know what I mean? And that's what I see when I'm in Dallas. With people from New Orleans that's in Dallas, when I ever go to Houston, seeing my people that's in Houston from New Orleans here in Atlanta, everywhere else. Everybody, you know what I mean? It seems like everybody since that storm and leveled up some kind of way that they would have never, you know, they would have
And
never did
that was
that.
a blessing for all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
For the move out here and to see that change, and I'm like, I'm not going back there. I'm going backwards. It said I felt like coming here, you know, it opened the eyes and see the bigger picture where he can start a business, where they can go and do different things, better job, better income, you know, get a house for real, and not have to be on Section A and be in unemployment all the time.
Well,
So I think that was a blessing for him too.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. Like I said, I left home when I was 18. You know what I mean, for the military. So by the time Katrina happened, you know what I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was ignorant in a lot of shit. You know what I mean, just in life. And I think it's because we have a generation of stuff that just been passed down to us, bad information that's been passed
A lot
down
of things
to
need
us.
to be unlearned.
So a lot of shit that we think that we know. You know what I mean? That's just like now when they come to our kids, we don't discipline our kids the way we got disciplined.
Right, no.
Because it wasn't, we know now, the way we thought we were supposed to discipline our child, that ain't love.
Right.
That ain't discipline. Now some shit I agree. You gotta be on them a certain
That
kind of
is
way.
true.
But I'm gonna tell you what hurt my heart. You know what I mean? And the reason why when I came to Atlanta to get my mama situated and get her a crib or whatever, just moving around Atlanta, because you gotta think this happened 29th of August, right? So we're going into football season, right? So the Army stationed me, I got the Army to station me at Fort McPherson. You know what I mean? They gave me like a 90-day assignment to Fort McPherson just to get my family straight or whatever, right? So when I get to Fort McPherson, as soon as I get my little housing situated or whatever, you know, I'm starting to move around, you know what I mean? Because now I got my family situated or whatever, so now I'm kind of trying to decompress. I can move side a little bit, you know what I mean? Football season kicking up or whatever, so you know us being from New Orleans, first thing we gotta represent where we from. You hear me? So I'm going to the malls, but when I go to the mall, I went to fucking South DeKalb Mall. When I walk through South DeKalb Mall, and this is where I'm talking about ignorance and just not knowing shit. They was calling us refugees.
Yeah,
On the fucking news, you know what I mean? So you got stupid motherfuckers from New Orleans walking through the mall with fucking refugees shirt on their motherfucking shirts on and shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm stopping niggas in the mall,
Not the
nigga.
rap
Won't fight, nigga. I won't fight.
Not the
Like,
rap group,
Not the
right?
rap group.
these niggas walking through fucking South DeKalb Mall with refugees on their shirt. I'm like, bro, do you even know what the fuck a refugee is, nigga? You from here?
Right.
You know what I mean? Refugees, motherfucker that ain't from the States. You from the States.
Right.
Like, take that shit off, man. You embarrassing me. You know what I mean? And then you wonder why the other motherfuckers don't respect it, because you look stupid. You know what I mean? We sound stupid. You know what I mean? Even when you talking to somebody, that you heard me and all that shit, like, bruh, that shit is only cool around us. You know what I mean? Like, when you talking business and you talking to people, sometimes you gotta let that shit go. You gotta know when and where to cut that shit off.
Right.
You heard me?
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
You got that out? You all right? You got that out?
You need a hug?
You got that out?
Look, we here for you.
You hear
He said we here for you.
Hey, shout out to my nigga Law, Janelle.
Doing this concierge for
Oh,
Dominique.
yeah.
concierge right now.
Hey, look, we live in the den, man. And this shit is unscripted, uninterrupted. This is what we do. We in the den, so
We're in the den. This is where you unpack it.
we want everybody to unpack.
Yeah.
So, you know,
No, like really in the den in New Orleans.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where it went down there. That's where the family meeting
hold
was.
on. We
in
had
New
it
Orleans.
then. We had it then. Y'all
You
had
had
it
it
then.
then?
Yeah, we had
Where your den was?
in the middle.
What the walls
middle,
look like?
The living room.
Wait, hold on. I can tell you we had a den. What his house was?
Uptown.
Uptown.
By Blue Plate Mayonnaise.
Huh?
Blue Plate Mayonnaise.
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 Ah,
Come on.
see,
He ain't from New Orleans.
We got him.
We got him.
We got him.
Cut that out, Flip.
Got him. Mayonnaise.
Cut that out, Flip.
That was very selfish.
Huh?
He said mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. What the fuck is mayonnaise?
For him only.
And you stayed by Blue Plate. You fucked it up like that? Come on, man.
Got him. Y'all know QB, we always got the
Yeah, but no. Yeah. The living room. Dining room. The bathroom. The kitchen. All the bedrooms was on the other side.
Okay, that's why you got better lighting.
You got shit all over. That means you got
Remember who
Hey, look. Make sure you give us some good stories on that,
I
man.
don't know. I need to see
Where
that
Mama
floor
QB at?
plan.
You got it. Where Mama QB at? Come on, sis. We gonna get Mama sis up here.
Let's get Mom and Sis on here.
Come on, Mama.
Join him because he in the oven right
Y'all
now.
almost dressing like too. Welcome back to the Den Podcast. As you can see, we got more people in the den with us. To my right, I got my brother Law.
Yes, Lord.
We got Mama QB, and we got Sis Dominique over here. And we're gonna start it off. With Law. We getting everybody's story about how they was affected by Hurricane Katrina, where they was when Katrina happened, how they prepared, and what led them to Atlanta. So Law,
Yes, Lord.
good seeing you again, my brother.
You already
How
know.
you been?
Definitely a pleasure.
Pretty hair don't care. Pretty hair don't care. That nigga Creole for real. Look at it. That nigga got that.
Y'all see, he got the white jeans
You
on.
a jazz. Look like one of the jazz
I'm
shoes.
trying to.
Hold on, what do white jeans mean, Jazz?
Oh, we don't like that. Look, the way Sam
Hold
responded.
on, dog.
We don't like
Hold
that.
on, Hold on, dog. Jazz, what the white
He
jeans
got the
mean?
white jeans
That's
on.
it.
So what that mean, Jazz?
We don't want to say it.
Is
Yeah,
it
what-
seasonal?
Oh, because hold on, wait.
It's
Hold on, it ain't.
seasonal.
Wait,
Hold
I'd
on.
rather go with
For
season.
those that wear them is year round.
Right. Oh, for the confident boy.
Oh.
Okay now.
All right.
This is Atlanta.
All right, that's
I
enough.
don't see a white party going on.
That's enough for that.
They tell you it was
Hold
a
on,
white
sis.
party. We trying to call you trade.
Oh, they don't know. I wear what I want when I want, how I want.
Well, that's a New Orleans thing. That's what give him a pass. So
You
don't
did.
play with that.
Don't play with
Don't
that.
play with that.
All day.
Man, welcome to the Den Podcast. That's my crazy ass sister, Jazz.
Oh, you already. Oh, yeah, that's family.
What's happening with you, though, man?
Oh, man.
How your family doing? Everybody good?
Everybody good. You know, mine's and my sister out here. You know, everybody else in that group.
Have they
You
been
know,
out here since
one of the
Katrina?
big things though, I'm sorry, one of the big things that, you know, I think we need to touch on that we don't touch on, and this one of the things being from the world, and I guess everybody just see us being so resilient, feeling like we can just live through anything, we can overcome anything, and we can. But nobody never asks us how we feel.
How we got to that
You
point.
know what I mean? Because we just so used to just picking our shit up and keeping it moving. You know what I mean? Like we just move, we just roll with the punch. But nobody never asks on the mental side of things, like how you feel. So I'm gonna ask you, how you feel? How you doing? Mentally, physically.
I'm doing well. You know, even been there since '06. I mean, you know, around this time, it's for us, you know, we creatures of habit, right? So, you know, but around this time for me, I don't even notice the days, but the month, some kind of way you get that little, and you just, and I'm inside more than any time. Like, and I'm like, I don't know what it is. Like, you know, is it depression? Is it oppression? Is it, you know, you never know what it is, but you get that feeling, and then you're going to look at the date, and you rewind, right? So you say, that's Hurricane Katrina. I said, I know oh so well that I know so well that this ain't from '06. I was 05. I was 24 when I came here. So I'm 40. And you still?
17 years.
No, you old. On camera, I'm 40. I'm 26 in the spirit. I can't get a hallelujah.
3-year-olds don't age.
You know how it goes. You know how it goes.
3-year-olds age different.
You know how we do it. I get it from everybody. You know, we all part of that. But, you know, it's like you say how I feel. I didn't really think about it until you just said it.
I know we don't.
So if I really could tell you how I feel, it's the end of the month. I didn't go outside none this month, right? However, I was good, but I didn't want to go outside none this month. I don't know what it was. I was like, nah. I even called him early. I was like, you know, they got this. I said, what you got going? My little partner said, you got something else. Like he said,
look, as soon as the nigga hit me, you know I got to curse that bitch.
Right.
Bitch,
You know
what the fuck going on. You already know what it is.
Right. I said,
excuse me, ma, I'm sorry. Mama, you know what? Mama, I'm so sorry, Mama. I've been cursing since you got here.
that's good. I appreciate you
And
being
I'm working on it.
Because he told me
It's so New Orleans.
I'm working on it.
Look.
But
She
I'm
is
acting
from the
like I'm
nine.
acting like it's just your
She
son.
is originally from
Yeah.
the nine.
Mama, or the 9? Oh yeah. The 9. And the
Bitch, mind don't mind
and
that.
don't mind that.
Oh.
He from the 9 and he definitely like to lie. He was out at Vanessa party talking about he been out. I ain't been out all month.
No, hold up. Wait, time out. Wait,
I'm messy.
hold on.
He was at the party.
Well,
I'm
hey,
messy.
listen, she from Pasadena. She from Pasadena.
He ain't been out since.
That's why I say
Hold on. Hey, Jazz from Pasadena and she lie a lot.
Them boys with white pants be lying.
So look, the girls be messing with them. So look, so this how it happened. Look. So check me out though. Let me just clear this up.
Hey man, let my
You're wrong. That's disrespectful. Don't laugh at her. All right?
But that was just 2 weeks ago.
That was, I don't remember all that.
Exactly.
But let me thank you, friend.
Thank you.
So look, like I was saying, so look, this is what really happened. And because I was about to tell you how I feel. I was emotional. I'm glad you did that though. Comment really, because I saw about to cry and I'd have been mad with y'all.
Oh, you know.
You heard me?
Hey man, this is a free. This is a space where you can be
And it's
yourself.
a sofa if you need to lay down and just have
Well, that's
your
what
session.
it is. Put white jeans on. All right.
Hey man, let the man tell his
So,
story, man.
real stuff. So back, I was coming through. I was already on Eagles Landing, coming up. Found out my people was gonna be there. I said, yeah, I'm gonna be here waiting for him. And you know, he said he was gonna come at a certain time and a certain time.
Well, that's what we not about to do.
Talking about my
So,
motherfucking
did you get what you came?
About my
Hey,
motherfucking
look, I try to wait.
Let's land.
I try to wait.
No.
I'm landing my plane.
But
When I land my
I
plane.
have a question. Were you in Katrina or did you leave before?
So look, I left before. But this is the thing. People say, "Oh, you left before. You ain't go through. You went through and all that." Everybody who had anything to do with anything, that was the prettiest day I ever seen in my life. Saturday, they told me it was coming Monday. So what happened was, we got up. All right, cool, let's go. I told my mama I never seen one of these. She said, "Look," she said, "Oh, we could go uptown." I said, "We're going uptown." For what?
He too pretty to go uptown.
I said, "Look, y'all do it like that." I'm gonna have to do it like the choir. Nah, but look, no,
Yeah,
real.
but uptown is higher.
I know it's higher, but listen, I'm gonna keep it a dog, and I'm gonna tell everybody. Most of us did not know what a hurricane really did. When they was talking about longitude and latitude, I was in the hallway. I'm serious. Sir, let me tell you.
Keep it real.
With Jazz, playing football.
Hey, I'm about to be 46. He telling his child.
You know you got kept back.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
What
But go ahead on with your story.
So that's how you feel, though.
Yeah, right now.
All right,
Right,
cool.
story.
See how you jump with me?
It's all right. Let me.
April down.
So, but the thing is, so look, I wasn't, now, honestly, for real, I wasn't in class. I'm like, oh, they got us tracking this and nothing ain't never hit. Like, we outside playing in a tropical storm. We throwing football in a tropical storm, I swear to Moses, in Walnut Square, in the east. I never knew what it was I was going to 81. Now, mind you, if you know any type of history, the last hurricane that happened like this was in where?
73, Bessie.
No, Bessie was what? 66,
Oh,
64.
okay.
66, 64. It was 64. One of them. My grandma and my grandma and my grandpa was standing on the building. Grandpa was 6 foot. My grandma 4'11".
Walking in water.
They tried to pick him up off the building, right? Oh, what? Somebody walked through, bumped them, and got in front of the line, got in the helicopter. Here's what the helicopter did. God rest their soul. They ran into another helicopter. My grandma just told my grandpa, Joe, don't do Joe, calm down. And my grandpa a hothead.
Yeah, he got skipped.
Off the dump.
But it was gone.
Right.
But
So that was the last time. Woo, woo. So that was the last time I even heard of something like that. But check this out. And if y'all remember, every hurricane that came to us went like this. Florida. What? Texas. What? And how many times it happened?
So it
7.
happened like 3
But look,
times.
no, it happened.
Before Katrina.
It happened 6 to 7 times. So that's the ball cry. Whoa! You said they got a.
That's why we
I don't believe y'all. Nobody, bro.
Before that.
Nobody believed it.
Yeah.
Nobody believed it. So right then and there, I'm like, but something in me was like, I told my mom who was in Low Night Wall, Tupelo, North Rome, 8631. She said, we could go up to her. I said, no, you need to go. You need to go and get everything that you need for where you're going. I brought all my work clothes. I was working at the Le Pavillon and the Windsor Court at the same time. Come to find out, I look, they're like, oh, you had it easy.
His work clothes. You was
Like they
good.
had one in Atlanta.
Hey, look. Hey, check me out.
He said I'll be right back Tuesday morning.
Check me out.
I'm gonna be right back
Check me out.
Tuesday morning.
Who?
Don't take my job.
Yeah, I was.
That man said don't take my job.
That nigga was a bus boy.
Look. You know how they like that boy like this.
That bus boy making executive.
Hey, look. He said, look. I know.
That was a bus boy.
One minute
making
ago.
I'm gonna be the only one back Tuesday
It
He
morning.
wasn't the waiter, he was the bus
Oh, look.
boy.
But I know so well that boy was a food and beverage manager after 10 years.
I could tell you did have
Oh,
some drinks
and
tonight.
don't play with it. And when you okay. there we go.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Like
One
I
thing
was.
about us, we proud about everything.
Everything.
That man said to start me on Monday, I'm gonna be ready on Tuesday. They ain't gonna come back when I'm your boss.
But see, look.
I'm your boss.
No, but look, they probably got it wrong.
Give me my raise.
I was getting my clothes for where I was going. I was like, I only know food and beverage. So I'm a maitre d', like, hey, I hit it with the maitre d'.
Right, you took the uniform from there so you could go
Hey, Google the meaning,
I
man.
know, look, hey, they told me what it was when they first told me what it was in 2002. I was like, what's maitre d'? I'm coming to be a host, sir. That man was like, I'm gonna tell you this, but I'm not gonna ever give you no more tips. A maitre d' is a host. It's just what we call it here at the Pavillon Hotel.
That's what we do.
I said, that's me, sir. So, but this is the thing though. I was telling my mom, I said, get everything that you're gonna need to go to the next spot. I only knew food and beverage. I worked at the Windsor, the Le Pavillon, the Windsor Court, and one other place. But that's all I ever knew. So I was bringing clothes. I'm gonna go work in New Atlanta. Yeah. I'm like, why would we come back here if it's gonna be washed away? That's what they were saying, right?
Yeah, we was ready.
Man,
But you was prepared.
but I never knew what a hurricane was. I just felt like we need to get You know what I'm saying? So anyway, came here. It was 13. It was not only me traveling. It was 13 of us. 13 of us came to Alpharetta in a one vehicle.
How long did it take for y'all to get to it?
Oh man, it took.
Because we know that's about a 6-hour drive, but how long it took during that time?
Listen, if you got 427,000 people at the time, and you got 220 that don't have a car,
Well, hold on. When that bridge broke in Slidell, was it after?
that was either before or after.
That'd be after. Cause
It wasn't because it would have stopped everything. And I'm from the North Night Wall, so I had to get across. So this is like to answer your question, 22 hours.
Wow.
You gotta understand, if you know, Nagin was gonna go left with it, but he was like, you know what? I'm here for my people. And he let it out on Saturday.
Yes.
Look, everybody get out.
Yes.
Right? You remember that?
They left at the
You
same
remember how he
time.
said it? But he stayed.
He stayed.
But we got.
And nagging.
Yeah, hey,
That's what I'm
look,
talking
salute
about.
because he ain't go.
Salute,
He
nigga.
ain't go with what they wanted.
Yep.
But we got somebody who going what they wanted. We ain't no shade. It's a treat. So it took 22 hours. We stopped a couple of times, and I tell you one thing: when everybody's struggling to get somewhere, you're buying together. So check this out: 22 hours. 22 hours. I had 2 cars. I never seen who the people was, but they stopped every time I stopped.
Caravan. Everybody
Look,
coming together.
it was 2 other cars stopping whenever I stopped to get gas because they didn't want to be by themselves.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got the Atlanta.
Wow.
Now check this out. We had a car in LaGrange that stopped. Hey, you got to pack in, right? They packed in. We got the
They already
Atlanta.
had shelter or something set up there, right?
No, what? No, LaGrange. Listen. The car just stopped at LaGrange and
The car stopped.
the car stopped.
All right.
2 hours later, we got to Atlanta.
All right.
Because it's 2 hours from Atlanta, right? So we said, look, we got to go back and get the car.
Right.
You know, we got our possessions. I got stuff in the car. So we go back and get the car. We come back 2 more hours. Yeah. We come back and get the car. And we come back and get the car. And we look on the news. Flooded out. Where we just came from, flooded out. So man, when I tell you, yeah, like that's the hurricane took over LaGrange too. Yes, no. Yeah, it came from New Orleans. So it literally was following us. So, just to answer your question, man, like I feel right now, I feel good. I want my people. If you don't know, the only reason I even come out when KT anywhere, he could be next to a dumpster with a beatbox.
We will never be next to a dumpster.
Not with this one. But he could be anywhere. Guess what?
I will never let y'all come for him.
Look,
She ain't never had us by no dumpsters.
All right, look. Let me clear that up. We ain't never had no dumpster. But if he was to ever be my one,
We're going to be right
we
there.
gonna be right
You can't
there.
wear these jeans.
What a oh no.
You can't wear these by no
We coming,
dumpster.
hey, we coming with the black jeans. Because I know one thing, wherever KT at, it's New Orleans there.
Right.
Wherever KT at, it's New Orleans, and that's what it is.
Okay, we got Mama Lee here, Mama Lee Irma. And Mama Lee Irma said that she was actually in the song. And that is amazing because we don't often get the stories from those that actually stayed. And I just really want to say thank God that you all made it out. Like 17 years stronger. This right here is a blessing. We also have her beautiful daughter. This is QB's family again, Dominique. And I would like to know, how did you feel when you realized that the levees had broke and the water was rising? Take me back to the place that you actually felt when you knew it's time for survival mode to kick in. Because I know QB spoke of you all being able to have a safe place to be, but I was told that once the calm after the storm, there was a big loud noise and then there was water. And take us from there, like how you felt when you knew you had to kick into survival mode.
Well, the hurricane actually was over with when the city got flooded. The levees were breached after the fact. We were in my son's friend's house, and we had to leave from the first floor level to go to the second floor level for survival. Some of them was getting on top of the roof of the house because It was that bad. The water overtook the house, the bottom part of the house. We actually got rescued from the wildlife and fishermen on a boat. They had to break the door down because the water had covered the entrance of the house. So, with that being said, my survival through that time was listening to John P. Key in my ear, praising the Lord.
Come on, John.
Was the one part of the earplug was in my ear, and I put the other part in her ear because we didn't want to be bothered about what was going on around us. Those people were afraid, but I was constantly praying. I was praying and giving thanks to God. So we finally got let out in Gentilly somewhere where the water was up to our chest. My daughter Dominique was about 5 months pregnant, holding on to me, about to put us down in the water. I didn't know how to swim, but God kept us.
What God?
Finally, we were able to get, the Army vehicle wanted to only take certain people. And they were going to take children from their parents, and they would have been separated for God knows how long. And then they wanted to take my daughter and put her up there because of her condition. And she said, "Oh no, you're not leaving my mama. That's all I got."
That's right.
And so that was the
right.
reason. That was the reason why I was able to leave with her. Then leaving there, they didn't want us to pass through Jefferson Parish. Harry Lee.
Hold on, man. Where y'all came from? I know you said y'all.
We were in the east. We were off
in
of
New Orleans, East
off of Morrison. So what happened was the storm did a shift. The storm was supposed to actually hit Texas, and it didn't. So we actually, unfortunately, got the bulk of the storm because we was in the east. So it went through the east, through Alabama, Mississippi, and of course some part of Georgia. So that's what happened, and that's why we got the effects the way we did. So when the wildlife and fishermen came, they actually came through the house with a boat. And they were actually looking for survivors, but they said they were also looking for alligators. Yeah, because that's what they really was looking for. And so when we came downstairs, me and her were the first ones to get on the boat.
But did that cross your mind that you can be in the same water with alligators?
We didn't until we got in there, and they told us. And they even told us that we might pass a couple of bodies. So don't look, just if we want to keep our head down and closed. I remember everything. So we did get to the end of the bridge. I think it was Morrison, and the Army truck was waiting, and they didn't want to let her on. Some people did get separated, but I told them if she can't go, I'm not going. So they let her on. Then we went all the way down to Jefferson Parish, and yes, Harry, at the time when he was living, he made sure those good old boys was right there. Did not want to let us through, but we made it through because he had to obey.
Wow.
Yeah, the Army, he had to obey. So we were on the causeway for at least for about 2.5 days. 3 days on the causeway. Yeah, like airline. Airline.
Under the bridge.
So what happened was they wound up. That's when the plane, I guess, began to be executed, and they told us, the Army man came over and told us, okay, I'm gonna take you and her because you're pregnant, and we're going to the airport, and we're gonna get y'all there. We're gonna go from there. So when we got to the airport, the airport was so horrible. I never saw it. It was a makeshift hospital. You saw people, old people bodies. It was some even died.
Yeah, I seen.
You know, it was horrible. And the pilot made an announcement. They said, we're gonna fly y'all anywhere in the 50 states y'all want to go to. Where y'all want to go? We said Atlanta. That was no brainer. We were the first ones to fly in Atlanta on Delta, and we were put up in the Holiday Inn at the airport.
How long were you?
I was 6 months with my
Did you
daughter
have a
Paris.
fear?
Of course I did, but I couldn't panic. I couldn't show her that. So when we did come, they embraced us. They did everything, but we didn't stay because when we got in, we was with Sprint. We stayed in the hotel. As soon as we got in, the phone was just blowing up, and we called him, and he was crying. And we told him, come get us. And he came straight to the airport. Yes, he
Not in
was.
front of
And listen, we passed away. He couldn't reach us, and not only
Because
at
I was
that.
getting the same
And
sound
y'all
that
keep
you was
plugging
getting.
Sprint,
With the
but Verizon had service
you
too.
know, I was still getting the business signal.
See,
Yeah,
every time I think I'm gonna cry about these stories, y'all always
but
bring
no,
it back.
we
It's different
we
when
gotta-
you
we
watch
gotta-
the
he
news.
it was really bad
gotta
for him
laugh
because
to
we
keep
found
from
out that
crying.
he was in the hospital. He actually took sick, and he was working for Mercedes at that time, Clinton, because he thought we were dead. Because what our house was, it really was. It was done. It was gone.
Oh, underwater.
It was underwater.
Your house was underwater.
The hospital, Mercy Baptist, where the light post was. That hospital
Yeah, we
was
stayed by
underwater.
Bayou St. John.
It
When
was
we went
Yup,
to,
in the
to
fifth
go
wall.
Savage stuff, like
Mhm.
we seen the water line like to the top of the roof.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they would have been gone if they would have
So
stayed
that's
home.
different from you all. See, watching the news is different from hearing someone say it. But what's also different is when you sitting back and you've gotten out and you're looking and you see,
And
oh,
that's
it
what
really
happened.
was nothing to go back to. But
Mhm.
when you actually was there and you were in the water and you made it out, a whole nother situation.
Well, it really felt like you was like something in Universal Studios. Like it wasn't a time to panic. I think I was more in shock, and it didn't hit me until maybe later on. I didn't cry, I didn't show affects because my mom, she cried, she showed her feelings. When we got here, we went to Walmart, and it was like I was in the Upper Bound program, Loyola. So when I had the shirt on, people actually like, oh, y'all from New Orleans, and they start coming up, and I didn't know what to do. I'm running. I'm like, hey, we okay? We ain't, I guess we didn't realize the effects until we actually sat down and saw everything. I went to the hospital. I was dehydrated. My baby heart was beating. That's all that matters. So we're here today. She's gonna be 17 in December. Well, January, New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are blessed. We are here. I'm grateful. We went through a lot, but we made it.
So fast
We made
forward,
it.
while you were here in Atlanta,
Mhm.
tell me what was your biggest transition? Because you're born and raised in New Orleans.
Mhm.
A lot of us don't leave New Orleans. A lot of us go back and say, listen, I don't like it out there. I'm going back home because this is what I know.
Well, I'm
So
gonna
tell me
say
what was
this.
your wake up moment when you said, you know what, we're gonna have to really get with this program here where we're at, and we're not going back.
Okay.
What was that defining
So
moment?
so I was prophesied to by a lady I thought was homeless. This was in 2004. Actually, the year I graduated from. Shout out to O'Shea.
Okay,
Thank you.
O'Shea
That's
third.
Glad somebody
So I was walking on Canal Street. I was getting off the Ferret bus, walking to the bus stop by Cross. Yeah, to catch the City Park bus.
And if y'all don't know about Cross,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry to hear that.
Yep.
That's where the real Daniel Greens was.
All right now.
Thank you. Rest in peace.
I'm from Mama some last week. Don't play with it.
They ain't got
A lady came up to me and she stopped me and she said, God told me to tell you that she said that you won't be here long. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm dying. She was like, no, not in New Orleans. She said, your life will be in Georgia. I said, okay. And she said, you're going to be in the White House. So I'm like, well, what the White House on Pennsylvania? She said, just know you're going to be in the White House. That was it. Those were her words to me.
And we
And
take
that was
that
in
stuff serious.
2004.
We not scared of that.
2005, this happened.
Yeah.
And I've been here ever since.
Y'all know we take warning and
Yes,
signs
and I
serious. Everything
listen.
is a warning for New Orleans people.
And she
Y'all
was
call it
gone.
voodoo. We call it
Yeah.
spiritual.
You heard
And
that?
listen, and when I went to the bus stop, I couldn't believe it, but when I went to look for her, I didn't see her no more. She was
Oh,
gone.
wow.
She was gone. Yep.
You know what's
I didn't see
crazy?
her no more.
I had a chance to talk to one of my cousins after the fact. I had two cousins working for Tulane and Broad. So you got to think this time they working at the jailhouse. So when the storm hit or whatever, you know what I mean, and the water started to rise, they had to let all the inmates out.
Right.
So we walking like I'm with her in Houston, and people walking past her like, "What's up, Cap?" Like she had it like she stuck on the bridge. You know the bridge right there on Tulane, the little bridge right there. They had to stand on the bridge. She on the bridge for like 3-4 days.
Broad bridge.
Right, she got a 6-shooter on her side. You know what I mean? With goddamn hundreds of inmates. You can't do nothing with 100 inmates. At that point, she had to let them go.
Right,
so
right.
think about how many inmates, you know what I mean, that got away. That, you know what I mean, that had time and got away during Katrina. Like, that's some of the other stuff that they don't talk about.
Yeah.
We don't think about. But there's a lot of people that had time on them, you know what I mean, or was supposed to do time during Katrina. They're free right now because of Katrina.
Right.
That's really one of the reasons why the police chief at the time, he resigned because they did not want him to tell the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that he was
A lot of
trying to
murders
say
happened.
happened. They had a lot of rapes in the
Yes,
Super
Lord.
Bowl.
Yes,
They
Lord.
had a lot of people that got murdered
Yes,
in that
Lord.
city.
Yeah.
They had a lot of bad stuff,
And they
and
caught up
he
with
was
them wherever they
telling
went, so
it,
the
but they
violence
didn't
traveled.
want him to say that.
And also, I don't know if y'all know, one of the captains for Uptown, Ophelio, he actually killed himself
Because he
his
thought
family
his
was
wife
young.
had drowned.
He was the
I
captain for
remember
the
that.
yep.
She
He thought his
didn't,
family
she
died, and he
didn't,
made
but
it.
that was
That
the
was
information
Yep,
that
and they
he
made
got.
it.
Family.
Yeah, his family. He thought because he stayed, they
That was
stayed,
good.
but he had to be out to protect and serve.
Right.
And his house was in the east where the storm hit, and he thought they didn't survive and they didn't make it. He killed himself, but they actually made it.
Now, y'all
I
know-
remember him.
Y'all
Yes,
know
I do.
Atlanta is our rival when it comes to sports
Mhm.
and stuff.
Yes.
But so we used to take bus rides
Mhm.
coming here, right?
Mhm.
The parents locked us in the hotel while they did what they did out here. Now I'm out here doing what they used to do. But anyway, so coming here, what was your culture shock that let you know we are totally different? We ain't nothing peachy about us.
Guh. What is a guh? Guh. What is that?
Guh?
Well, the
Spell
fir-
it. Yeah, that's
Not
guh.
her good in the country.
Not girl, but guh. I was like, what
My
is that?
first,
What was your culture
my
shock,
first
Mom?
experience with that was I went in public supermarket and I said I would like to get a po' boy.
Where's Swagman at? Y'all got a Swagman? Mom in the good talk. Y'all got a Swagman? Where
Po' boy, what are you talking
I know you got
about?
the foot long.
She like, yeah, I need
The real
some D&G.
superstar.
I know also well
I
you got
need
the
some
foot long.
D.
I was
I need some
so
D&D
devastated.
smoke
I
size.
didn't
None of y'all
know.
got
They
no
said we
D&D.
got Subway.
Yeah, the high side is none of that. It's a
What
lie.
was yours?
I think my devastation was seeing, like, you know, the first thing off the waters, and you get on that, you like, man, I'm about to look for the first thing that say New Orleans seafood, something.
You know what else we go? It's the boot print.
The first 5 places, it tastes like oatmeal.
Exactly.
The gumbo tastes like oat milk. I said, you
They
know
had
what?
tomatoes in it.
Oh, and okra.
Wieners.
Oh, and wieners.
I
Oh,
ate wieners.
yes, Lord.
Yeah, some people
And they
have
were
wieners.
serious.
You
Yeah.
got
I said, I'm looking at them in the eye. I said,
Domino's was the closest thing to us.
that was
Right,
the closest
right.
thing. Yes,
Right,
Lord.
For me, it was checking out in the store. And the girl said, oh, I hear your accent. You from New Orleans. I said, yeah. So do you be with Master P and his wardies? I said,
No.
She said, do you be with his wardies?
Say, ma'am.
What is a wardies? We from there and we don't say that.
Oh, finish with the
Oh,
beef.
hey.
That's when I knew, you know what, be quiet and just adjust. I don't like explaining myself. I don't like you keep saying huh, because what do I sound like to you?
Yeah. The first time they said that to me, it was like, oh, you know what they asked me.
Say baby.
Say baby.
I said,
baby.
they said, oh, say baby. I said, man, you got a couple of
Yeah,
Thank you.
don't
couple of dollars. I know you know.
I charged
Look,
the
look,
fee.
you know what they called us already. I said, you know we're a refugee.
Yeah,
So
I tell us to say that.
I need that.
That's right.
I need that early and not late.
I would not say that word
If
You
for
mean
you.
I said that?
Hey, they say you from New Orleans. I said, no, I'm from Canada. The South Port.
You can ask your parents for Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a plucky.
So I have an important
Sure,
question.
man.
I have an important question before you all leave, and I'm so happy you all are here and that you all made
Thank
it
you,
through the
we are
storm.
too.
Yes.
We have an important question. Where is QB from?
Lord have mercy.
Oh my God.
Because
He
allegedly
was
Altoona.
born. Do you want me to tell you?
Oh, yeah, you ain't.
He was born in March 7th, 1973, New Orleans, Louisiana, Charity Hospital.
Charity.
Oh, look, because he don't know where
Charity.
Charity at.
On
Across the street from Burger King.
Tulane Avenue
Burger King.
in New Orleans.
1825.
No,
I thought it was the smoothie
Tulane.
king.
See, you
He
came
couldn't
after.
finish that slogan, man. He couldn't finish.
Oh.
Yeah,
He
so
couldn't finish.
Hey,
He hit him with
hold
the
on. He
Rosenberg.
said,
He
hold
hit him
on.
with the Rosenberg. He couldn't finish. He ain't
Hold
know the
on.
address, man.
QB said he from the old Cherry.
No,
He said from the old Cherry.
Seafood City.
Very pretty.
Hey.
Come around the
Yes,
sea.
yes. He won't be
Because
back.
1826.
Let her have it.
I got bad credit. Let her have it. What do you need to see? Go see Johnny.
That's Mr. Love. So
Thank y'all so
to
much.
sum it up, I'm just gonna say God is good God.
Yes, Lord.
He never leave you or forsaken you, as he said. Once we got and lived in the hotel, we did better than a whole lot of people. We stayed in the Hampton Inn Suites for 3 months with our tax-paying money. FEMA didn't give us
Yes, Lord.
anything. That's your tax-paying money.
Right, get it either.
But after we moved out, we moved right across the street from that hotel into a townhouse. And 5 months later, I won $10,000 worth of furniture from Ashley Furniture Store.
Okay.
Yes, Lord.
So God was blessing not only in Texas, but in Georgia as well.
Okay.
So I give thanks. I was depressed the first year, but after that, I went to work for a public supermarket, got paid a better salary than I ever got in New Orleans. And here I am later, 17 years later. I'm 7 and 3.
Okay.
And I still work
Mine is 16.
40
Don't play with them.
40 hours a week.
40
40 hours a week. And God is good. I don't know about where you from and what you are, but I raised up in the New Orleans, listen.
I don't know what you want.
Listen to me.
Let her talk. You gotta finish this up.
I lived in the Irish Channel, blonde hair, blue eyes,
Okay.
and I'm still black, okay?
We gotta get into some other interviews or whatever, but I don't think we do this often enough. Dominique, I want to tell you, I don't know, I guess you had a divine spirit or whatever for you to link me with your brother. You know what I mean? Like, even though he came with the Kansas City shit.
That's how y'all met?
Yeah, his sister felt like he's somebody that I should know.
Yep.
Oh,
Or
wow.
whatever. So she invited him to Crown or whatever. And soon it must have been meant for me because he
Divine intervention.
she didn't tell me she was bringing him. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't explain none of that to me. They had the conversation.
Right.
But as soon as he walked through Crown, no disrespect, mama, but I know his daddy wasn't in his life because he had some cheap socks on. That's the first thing I told him. I said, boy, I know your daddy wasn't in your life.
Oh, so
Ain't no
disrespectful.
fucking way.
Well,
Ain't no fucking way. Your daddy was in your life. This nigga got the whole cheap
socks
socks
and
on.
everything.
I think he had a headband on too,
Yeah, the
mama.
tennis
So
ball thing.
he had all that. So, mama, you did that bad. I'm gonna tell you, if it's ever part of your parents, if it's any part of your parents, and mama, I disagree with.
My dad was in his life. He tried.
Man,
I know the story. Now I know
That's
the
an
real
attempt,
story.
man.
Now, I heard he paid.
That's an
I heard he
attempt.
paid
I've been
43
the chief for 30 years now.
But hey, on the real,
he was always up.
on the real, Dominique, mama, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you all as well.
They always say, blood don't make you family, but I would tell you this, in a short time, that's more family to me than some people that got my blood.
Yes, Lord.
You heard me?
It's
So,
just
That's
relative.
relatives and
and I
that's
know,
family.
I know we just getting started. I know we just getting started with this podcast or whatever and everything we doing, but I already know that this is about to take off. This is about to be something big, and you seen it. You know what I mean? You seen something, and I know that ain't nothing but God. So again, I want to give y'all flowers while y'all here.
And I would just let y'all know that it is the love of God that's got y'all all together like you are and doing what you're doing. Simply New Orleans.
Simply New
And
Orleans.
we
That's
just
from
some
mom.
kids from New Orleans.
That's
At
it.
the end of the
Thank
day,
you. Thank
at
you
the
for
end
coming
of the
through.
day,
Thank you all.
All right.
give it up. Mama QB. Dominique.